Hi, welcome to the Saturday Show. I'm Kurt Vincent with the Bladen Journal. With me today is Laurie Smith. She's an organizer of an open house that's coming up at Harmony Hall Plantation. Laurie, thank you for joining us.
Oh, glad to be here.
Great.
Thank you for coming.
Now, right now, we're standing in the chapel that is on the grounds of Harmony Hall Plantation. Tell us a little bit about this chapel.
Okay, this chapel has been here quite a while, but 2 years ago, a group came and approached me about making it a real church. And we were delighted because now this chapel is a church, Sunday morning, Sunday night, and Wednesday night. And they help us with the bills, and they help us with volunteer work.
Now, it's located just 100 or 200 yards down the street from Harmony Hall Plantation. How old is this facility?
It's probably 110 years old or so.
That's great. And they get quite a good following here, I assume, every week.
Some days they have a really good crowd.
That's great. Now, Harmony Hall Plantation is going to be hosting a special event on December 11th. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Sure. We're going to have an open house that starts at 3 p.m. and it's going to run till 8 p.m. We're going to start with 3 hours of music right here in this chapel. John Goodman's group, Presby Opia, with dulcimers and instruments like that. They're going to do an early American Christmas. Then, when they take a little break, we're going to have Keith Barker playing his violin. If you've never heard him, you need to be here to hear it. Then we go back at 5 o'clock to the early American Christmas event. Then at 6, it's going to be pitch dark, probably chilly. We're going to give everybody a little jar with a candle, and they're going to start walking to the house. When we get to the house, we're going to have refreshments, hot tea, and candlelight tours of the house until 8 o'clock.
That's great. Now, this is all free of charge.
Free of charge.
Okay.
We won't turn down donations, but we are not charging any admission. We never have.
Now, this is, from what I understand and talking with you before, this is going to be the 25th year that Harmony Hall Plantation has hosted an open house.
Yeah, we have had some lean weeks, some lean months, but we have never skipped a Christmas open house since we started in 1986.
That's great. Now, I assume that the reason for open house like this at a historical landmark like Harmony Hall Plantation is to get people here so that they can see this and see some history and kind of appreciate the fact that they have something here in their backyard, basically.
Oh, yes. And I think it makes people feel good just to have an earlier Christmas, away from the hustle and the bustle and the shopping and all that.
Right.
And we hope we will have people coming from out of the county and out of the state.
Right. Yeah. Now, give us just a real brief capsule of history of Harmony Hall Plantation. What is it that people can expect to see when they get here?
Well, the house is the only thing that is original. It was built between 1760 and 1770. And right next to the house, we have a kitchen. And even though the kitchen was brought in from near Brown Marsh Presbyterian Church, it's 10 years older than the house. Then people donated other little buildings. We have a store called the Earl Tatum Store. It was operated until 1962. We have a schoolhouse that was, it's been here, it hasn't been here, but it's been a schoolhouse since over 100 years ago.
Okay.
And if you go inside, you will see the old desk and the teacher contract. Of course, we have the chapel here, and we have a general store. But the main thing we're going to focus on when we have our open house is the chapel where people can get warm and toasty and 6 o'clock, we're going to put them out in the dark with a candle, and they're going to go to the house and live kind of like the colonists probably used to live. No electricity in the house.
And that house really does date back to the Revolutionary War time, and
yes.
has a lot of old history to it.
Yeah, Mr. Richardson was in shipping, and he settled here. Then when the revolution broke out, he was a colonel in the revolution. And there's a legend that Cornwallis came here. Some people say it didn't happen. I know the story has been stretched a little bit, but I believe he came here because you got to have a story before you start stretching it.
That's true, that's true.
Now, I'm not going to say necessarily that Mrs. Richardson is the only reason we don't belong to the King and the Queen of England today, but we can pretend that for a few minutes.
Sure. Now, there aren't too many historical landmarks like Harmony Hall Plantation left, so I assume that it's important for Bladen County and surrounding area to want to keep a landmark like this kept up and viable.
I hope so, because even though it was built in the 1800s, our electricity and our phone and our gas logs in the house, we're not paying 18th century prices for them now.
Right.
And we do have to have liability insurance because we don't want to be liable for anything that happens.
Right. So it takes a lot to keep these things around. Now, how can people help or get involved if they would like to with Harmony Hall Plantation?
Well, we would be delighted to have volunteers to be tour guides. We don't have many right now. Dwight Holland and Connie, he is the preacher here now, they take the second weekend, and basically I do the other 3.
Okay.
So anyone that feels like you're really called to be a tour guide, come on down.
Now, if somebody wants to make a monetary donation or become a tour guide, can they call somebody to talk to them about that?
Well, we have several ways of being contacted. The phone number is 866-4844. The website is harmonyhallnc.com, and our post office box is Box 297, White Oak.
Okay.
And the physical address is 1615 River Road.
In White Oak.
If people want to come here and they want to punch it in on their little GPS, it'll get you there.
Okay, great. Well, Laurie, thank you very much for joining us, and I hope that the event starting on December 11th is successful and brings a lot of people out here and continued success after that.
Okay, well, I'd especially like to thank these guys because they are what's going to bring the crowd in.
Right.
Then we're going to push them up to the house and show them what people used to live like in the 18th century.
There you go. So, folks, I urge you to come out here. There's a lot to see and a lot of history to see out here. So come on out on December 11th. And thank you for joining us on the Saturday show. You all have a good week.